Hello, this is week number 18 for music class at St. Joe's Distance Learning. And this week, you've had your Monday off because yesterday was Dr. Martin Luther King Day. And I don't know if you took the whole day off and didn't do any classwork at all. If you were at school, you wouldn't have had to come to school. But if you're all probably very familiar with Dr. Martin Luther King Day. This is around his birthday. And every time there's the third Monday of January, we all take the day off and we celebrate and honor his birthday. And over the years, we've had lots of different lessons talking about why he was an important person with the civil rights movement. And so we're not going to go through a whole bunch of that today, but I do want to spend, this is for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, this video, because we're all working on the same thing this week. I do want to spend a minute on a song that's very, very important that a lot of times during this time of year, you might hear this on the radio, you might hear it in stores, you might hear a special concert someplace and people are singing it, even some places at churches. Some churches sing this on the Sunday before Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. And it's called Lift Every Voice and Sing. And this is a song that is over 100 years old. It's not an African-American, it's not a Black American spiritual, because remember, spiritual is a song that was composed and made by slaves while they were working down in the southern states when slavery was still legal. This was after slavery was abolished. It's not legal it was not legal back when we made this in 1900. A man made it, and it's kind of turned into kind of a theme song for Black people when they're trying to get a point across. They're trying to peacefully protest. They're trying to point out that there's still some things wrong in our country that are not okay. And unfortunately, when slavery became abolished and became illegal, that still wasn't the end of people treating people awful. And there, even today, there is still racism. There are people that are treated less than other people, and it's not okay. And especially Dr. Martin Luther King taught that he was a minister. He was like a minister like Father Paul, or a pastor or a preacher. That was his job for a living. But he went around and reminded everybody that God made everybody wonderful. We were wonderfully made, and we're all awesome people, and nobody has a right to treat anybody more special than someone else. And this song is a song that talks about the history of, it talks about the history. It touches, the lyrics kind of touch on how there's been some very dark periods in history for Black people. It talks about hope. And what we're going to do, I'm going to play it for you. We're going to talk about it. And then you have an assignment on your Google Classroom page where the lyrics are part of it. I'll get it and I'll show you in just a minute. There's a half page that shows you what the lyrics are, because sometimes when you listen to it in a song, it's hard to remember what it's about. And then this page is on your Google Classroom music page, and you're going to be listening to Kirk Franklin, who's going to be doing a certain arrangement of it, and then you have to answer questions about it. But right now, I just want you to listen to a short history of why the song is still popular even today. A lot of people refer to it as the Black National Anthem. And even it's a teensy bit controversial, because there are some schools, even a few years ago, I remember a big debate on the radio, because there were some schools in Minneapolis where most of the people are Black, where, you know, like when you go to a football game or a hockey game or baseball game, a lot of times you'll have an announcer say, everyone please stand and remove your hats as we sing the national anthem. And we hear, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? And that's the American United States national anthem that was voted on. That's the song that was chosen to be our national anthem. Well, this song, Lift Every Voice and Sing, is kind of the Black national anthem for Americans. And there are some schools that, instead of having people stand up and sing the national anthem before a sporting event, they stand up and they sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. Some people think that's okay. Some people think that's not okay. That it really has happened. And there have been some people a few years ago, I know, in schools in Minneapolis, that they were doing that, and other people thought it was disrespectful. I don't know. Everybody has different feelings. And if that song is super, super important to you, and the whole population of the school, or most of the population, that song is a very, very important song to them, they chose to sing that instead. So I'm going to turn on a little movie. It talks about the history of this song. And then I'm going to show you a little clip of Alicia Keys, who you've all probably heard of before. This is a video that came out this year from the NFL. And this is her singing this song. And it's kind of from the perspective of the National Football League. So watch these two things first, and then we'll do something else.
Talk about the national anthem lately, for better or for worse. But for African Americans, there's a national anthem that goes way back and tells our American story of struggle, triumph, and freedom.
It's a part of history.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring.
It's called Lift Every Voice and Sing.
I heard it actually go to my grandma's church.
I went to Spelman, so they were singing before sporting events.
Wasn't that an old stage song?
Lift Every Voice and Sing actually started as a poem. It was first recited in the year 1900 by 500 school children at the all-black Stanton School in Jacksonville, Florida, as a tribute to President Abraham Lincoln's birthday. The creator of Lift Every Voice and Sing was James Weldon Johnson, a civil rights activist, lawyer, and school principal, who also wrote the poem to introduce Booker T. Washington, who was visiting his school. Johnson's brother, John Rosamond Johnson, put the poem to music, and it officially became a song. Once the NAACP adopted Lift Every Voice and Sing as its official Negro national anthem, the song took on a life of its own. A remake of Lift Every Voice and Sing was done in the 1990s by Melba Moore, with fellow R&B artists like Stevie Wonder, Anita Baker, Dionne Warwick, and Bobby Brown. It was even recited during President Barack Obama's first presidential inauguration. Wherever you stand on what to actually call Lift Every Voice and Sing, chances are you fall into the bucket of people who just remember the first stanza.
Lift every voice and sing to wherever. Lift every voice and sing till
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise.
I feel listening sky.
Song full of the hope that the present has brought us.
Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Beyond the politics around Lift Every Voice and Sing, the song itself is powerful in that it talks about staying hopeful, fighting injustice, and knowing the struggle our ancestors endured.
It's a part of something that gave people hope and, striving for excellence and kind of sense of community.
Just knowing that you have what do you want to call that? A place. Knowing that you're an individual, you're a citizen. You are here. You are here, and there's power in that.
We go to Arrowhead now for Lift Every Voice and Sing as it's played in the stadium. America was a country full of promise and hope for many. Black Americans faced a different reality, a nation separate and unequal, yet their hope persisted. Pained by inequality, but inspired by resilience, writer and civil rights activist James Weldon Johnson put pen to paper. His words would become a unifying call, a hope for a brighter tomorrow, a timeless exhortation to lift every voice and sing.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening sky. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory.
There are forces that want to take us back to another place. We don't want to go back. We want to go forward.
We go to Arrowhead now for Lift Every Voice and Sing as it's
Now, this next one, I also have the link on your lesson plan sheet also. This is a man named Kirk Franklin. If you remember when we did the Together project in September at the beginning of the year when we, it was a video by for King and Country and Torrey, somebody else, and Kelly Torrey, and then Kirk Franklin was the black man who was part of the project. This is his performance with a group of friends of his from Lift Every Voice and Sing. This is the group that I want you to listen to. This is the video I want you to listen to while you answer this sheet. So this is the arrangement. Answer it with this sheet. You don't worry about the correct spelling. Don't worry about correct complete sentences. At the very bottom, it says, in your opinion, I want 3 sentences. Tell me what you think of this song. So down here, these do have to be complete sentences. I need 3 sentences to get full credit. Up here, don't worry about spelling. Don't worry about complete sentences. I want to play it for you once, and you might want to, you might need to listen to it a couple of times. But the lyrics are also printed in your Google Classroom sheet, so you can follow along and tell what they're talking about. So I'm going to play it for you now. You can also go back and listen to it later.
like this part right here. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. We gotta do something to it. Just encourage it. We'll take it to church. Let's go. We'll be marching right till the victory is won. To all the brothers out there. All the brothers till the victory is won. For all my sisters in the struggle. Keep believing, sisters, till the victory is won. Till that day. Till that day comes. Let us march on to victory. Till victory is won.
So that is your assignment for this week. You need to fill out the listening journal sheet for this song, Lift Every Voice and Sing. It's not just a song I picked out of a hat. It's a special song for this week. This is the song that people refer to as the Black National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing. And I will see you next week. Bye.